Good evening, free enterprise community. Thank you for joining us for the first match of the semifinals for the Highway to the Zemus Zone #4 tournament. Today's race is between two extremely strong runners who you all know and love to see race, xPankraz and microKorgs. I hope you are all as hyped as I am for this race today. I'm Flopper, and I'm joined in the virtual commentary booth by Gameboy F9. Hey Gameboy, excited for today's race?
Yeah, this is going to be, it's something we've had over, 110 runners enter this tournament, and now we're already down to four, and it's amazing the play that this tournament has produced, and we're going to have quite the competition between Pankraz and microKorgs. Pankraz, 4 from 4 in qualifiers, and as far as earning first place. And then going 8-0 so far in the bracket. And then we have microKorgs, who got a second place from 11 races and has gone 8-2 in his races. So just on paper, it looks like Pankraz has the advantage, but well, we do. That's why we played the game, right?
Definitely. I mean, and always in a randomizer, you never know exactly what's going to happen. Although you're right, Pankraz being seed #1 is a very strong runner. And so he's potentially a favorite. And I wonder if microKorgs is thinking that going into the race, and his play will be trying to take some more risky ways through the seed to see if he can get ahead through Pankraz that way. We do have our two random objectives here. So our standard 3 there, defeat Wyvern, Cape Muhammad, and Forge. And our 2 random, we got beat Mylan Z and defeat the Dark Im. Boss fight. Just great to see 2 boss fights into your pool there, as that can really actually influence your routing through the seed, as you might care about, hey, which locations can I go to that have really dense boss checks to do to see if I can stumble on those.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to bring in ordeals into play. Surely there'll be a quick check in the Mist Cave and the waterfall. And additionally, the Baron will be a good place to go. The Baron Inn, that'll be a good place. The Baron Castle, if you get the Baron key, that'll be a good place. And the Dwarf Castle, when we have access to the underground. So there's a lot of really good places you can go to pick up some bosses.
Now, how about that starting character, though?
Well, I don't know what that is, to be honest with you, because I was like, I write my notes down: green cape, orange shirt, orange cape, green shirt. But what?
Definitely. So yeah, you're right. It can be a little tricky. I actually use the placement of the clasp there, but that gets us. Well, I was going to say that's the white mage twin, but sure enough, we have both twins now, so we have access to both of them right now. Though the white mage is our hero here for him, but we have Palom here joining us. So the twin special there, and the pan is our starting item. Pan is also kind of always interesting as your starting item, because it means, do you really want to hold off on now doing that Babul dip to get the very coveted single Babul dip there, where you can do all the pan turn in and the Babul defense all at once.
Oh yeah, man, that's a good point. I tell you what, that definitely makes my I don't need these notes anymore.
Oh, we just have both twins. I mean, at least for the time being. Who knows? As we build out the party, maybe Palom will be getting kicked out, but Porum is our hero. We are playing with the hero flag, so we will be keeping that white mage around for the rest of this.
Yeah, and I see we're immediately going to the Mist Cave, and I cannot blame microKorgs here. Let's quickly see if we've got a boss of interest, and that boss of interest is Ravalis. Well, oh, is he going to play this?
Yeah, seems interested in taking on the fight, although, yeah, won't connect there on the Val spot. So yeah, moving on, but yeah, I definitely do like that play from microKorgs. We have not only the 3 boss hunts available here, the Wyvern, Mylan Z, and the Dark Imps, but also we care where D-Mist is. So going ahead and just checking boss locations makes a lot of sense. Now he's going to go ahead and sweep into one of our common looting locations here at the Watery Pass. Well, xPankraz is interested in finding out which character he can pick up there on Hobbs, which we do see a Kane, but behind the CPU is... It's a safe fight pretty much anytime you find it, but it's a time-intensive fight. And Pankraz just doesn't want to deal with it right now.
Yeah, wouldn't that just be a flare or a comet, or would that get reflected? Oh yeah, I guess it would get reflected, at least flare would, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, dancing
exactly.
guy.
That actually could be nice there for that Kane if you didn't have any other weapons for him. That could get him doing out some damage early on. There's been
Yeah.
actually some pretty decent gear seen on both sides here. Sorcerer Robe, I believe, showed up for microKorgs. So.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of interesting things. The Poison Axe, which would help Kane out quite a bit. And whoa, what's this? Oh,
So
3 Dark Imps! Wow!
Already finding one of our objectives super early into this race. So definitely happy to see that entry for xPankraz. Just to note for everyone, if you haven't seen these races before, we do have the 5 objectives listed there, but we do only have to finish 4. So getting 1 done is a quarter of the way already to your objectives. So really nice to find that early.
Yeah, and I like this play by Pankraz. Use the Thor's Rage, get it done and dusted, and move on. Learn your Ice too. microKorgs gonna go ahead and take on the CPU here. It's gonna start with yep. Okay, Legend Sword picked up over on Pankraz's side, so that's halfway to that 3rd objective there. Yep. And we have that Poison Axe equipped over on microKorgs. Gonna get a good jump here. Oh, I like this idea. Gaia Drum.
Despite the fact, they look like they're floating, they are not actually have the float status on them, so you can go ahead and use the Gaia Drum or the Quake Spell to do good damage. You are going to need the Glow 199 as we see here, but if Kane's jump connects to finish off the fight, you'll be fine, which is exactly what microKorgs got here. So Kane into the party.
Yep, Kane's in the party. Unfortunately, the globe hit the Black Mage, so the Black Mage does not score any points. Would have been better for it to hit the White Mage because one of the things about the Sea Hero is that the hero always gets the points, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. And especially getting some early experience there onto that Palom, so you can start learning some of those, actual offensive spells, the level 1 elemental spells. Very impressive. Level 2 elemental spells, your Ice 2s, your Lightning 2s, your Fire 2s, actually can do some work for the early part of the seed. So you really were hoping to get that experience. So.
Yeah. A more safe maneuver here by Pankraz, just using Dancing Daggers instead here. And that's going to take a little bit of time, but not too much. And down goes the vendor, so the CPU is going to go down momentarily.
Yeah, so definitely a bit of a slower fight, but again, Pankraz might just really be valuing getting that experience onto Palom. So he goes ahead and starts learning some of these offensive spells, which could very well help him out in all of his future fights he needs to take on, as well as he did already know Ice 2 from completing the Antline Cave first.
Yeah, and there is the Dancing Dagger. microKorgs pretty much doing the same thing Pankraz did. Probably gonna swing on the Poison Axe instead, and there's an Ice 2. Goodbye offense, goodbye attacker, 4,362 points, and everybody wins.
Yeah, experience on all his players. Yeah, xPankraz will be interested here in looting the rest of his chests up here, as he hasn't done any real looting yet in this seed. He went straight into the Antline Cave, looted his way through that, but now kind of our higher tier loot locations. So grabs just the one nearby chest, but doesn't want to walk all the way to the back.
Yeah, and let's see what Pankraz is going to do next. I'm guessing, is he going to do Bully? Yes, he is.
Yeah, it definitely totally makes sense here. Is you're still interested in getting a little more experience before taking on those harder locations, especially the party, to get him some extra, again, levels. If you can hit that virus breakpoint sooner, that's definitely be good for taking on bosses. And Fabul does get a good set of experience, especially for this point in the game. And you really never know when you're going to get to the underground and be able to fall off from that pan. So putting off the Fabul for too long without having really fast ways to get through harder locations totally makes a lot of sense what Pankraz is doing here.
Yeah, and I noticed that Whistle was acquired somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but selling that for 10,000 Jill is quite a bit. That's really going to help our contestants early on here.
Definitely.
Kainaizu is the boss in the Fabul Gauntlet.
Sure. Which shouldn't pose too much of a problem here. Just go ahead and get out some good damage quickly, which we can do with that Flare cast. Very nice. And then the any waves that come out wouldn't do a lot of damage. It looks like we won't even have to see any here. So we already have Kainaizu hanging out in the shell, and should be taken out quickly through maybe another Twin Magic or just a straight cast from Palom.
So we need to come up with like a really cool dance or something like that. Dun, 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 or something like that.
I know
Wow,
Pankraz
that
does
Knazu
like
was just deleted off of Pankraz's screen there with that ice too. Wow.
Yeah, definitely going ahead and taking advantage of the elemental weaknesses there. I might have thrown in a bluff there because he was also hitting a lot of damage as well as Flare did a ton. So well played by Pankraz. Get through here really quickly and find his next key item here of the pass. No progress right now, but you're definitely happy to have that in your back pocket for whenever you do enter your go mode. Getting to avoid that long walk down the lunar subterranean is always nice.
Yeah, and I mean, so far the ingredients are really nice, but we still have an ordeals check that we'll probably want to do, and we also have the Baron Inn. I think the odds are good that we might be going there next. Well, I guess we're gonna find out in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely both plays make a ton of sense. You can try to fill out your party there by doing the Baron Inn check, although slightly higher level boss fights there, as Ordeals is kind of, in the standard progression of the game, the next place to go. But you have to go through all 3 bosses here on Ordeals, and right now we don't have the general thing of Ordeals unlocking, say, our Cesso or Tella, who we don't have in our party right now, so there's less kind of incentive to go there immediately. So yeah, either of those locations make a ton of sense, although Pankraz does like the Ordeals play, which he can. Really nice is we still do have 2 of those bosses left up on our boss hunt, plus the Demas.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to find out what that first boss is in a moment. microKorgs doing the same thing Pankraz did and raiding the treasury over at the left tower of Fabul. And we're going to see that first boss fight. No, we're going to save first.
I mean, definitely a good idea to save up here. It's a bit of a long walk, and there's definitely some rude bosses. This party's not the strongest party by any means, and so if you run into one of those mean ones, you might have that save right nearby, especially also if you just take all the fights back to back, not having to do the entire walk again.
We see Pale Din. We saw Sparkle. We were hoping it was Wyvern, but it was not. It was Pale Din. But you know what? Let's see the Wyvern a little bit later and have it have really cool.
Yeah, a little more maybe challenging spot could be fun. So still always useful to just run into the other lunar bosses. It is information for our runners, so then knowing as they kind of can check off all the lunar sparkles they run into, it does mean they might be able to pinpoint where Wyvern is, and some of the chances where you just see what the boss is and you can see there's a sparkle there. This information is very valuable to know what's your chance of that actually being your Wyvern.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, another very quick defeat over Pankraz's side. Doesn't even bother to save. We have, I believe, that is an evil wall in the other direction.
Definitely, which does punch not too hard here, although it's going to be taking a lot of turns and be moving fairly quickly here. But definitely not the scariest spot by any means to see below. So Pankraz might actually be happy to be running into it here.
Now, of course, the wall is moving quite quickly because of that mandatory speed 1 on that the wall receives. But so far, with that flare, that's going to really help things out. It does have to use the Dancing Dagger to deal a little bit more damage, but so that does make the Petrify happen. But a couple flares and the wall's like, okay, fine, you got me, bye-bye.
Definitely. The gradual petrifying not too scary here when you're already doing 1,000 points of damage on each of your attacks, and so Pankraz just knows, hey, I can keep throwing out spell casts and not really have to worry about it. We do get the Virus Learn there on Palom, so a nice extra source of damage. Really, we've been kind of throwing out Twin Magic over and over again, which is really nice, although less control there if you get caught with Flare. Having Virus is nice because you know what will happen now if you queue that up from your Palom.
Does it have something to do with the noise?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just check.
Pankraz does go ahead and grab his save here before entering Crystal Room, which makes a ton of sense here as on our Sea Hero flag. We do have to go into this with just Porum, so not the strongest member of our party by any means.
No, not at all. Not a white mage, but we got a burst going on for Kane.
Ooh.
What was the item? I missed it.
That was an adamant.
And we get a freebie. Oh, no, wait, no, we don't. We got a sure. Never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately, not the freest boss by any means. I did not see if we got any mage killing gear here, which it looks like we don't, as FF4FE is going ahead and setting up for a bit of a longer fight here. Throwing up the illusion so the counterattacks will not hurt. And what we see here is looks like a life block being set up. So if you go ahead and attack Asura just after she casts the life spell, she'll do her face rotation right back to the gray face, which means life is coming in again. So you just wait again for the life cast to come in, bonk again, and you'll only ever have to see the life cast, and so you don't have to worry about, say, setting up the walls to reflect back the healing spells.
Yep. Unfortunately, I had thought that it was the king and queen of Eblan. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy. Oh no, wait a minute, no, not that queen.
Yeah, there was some royalty here, but not that royalty. Unfortunately, I'm sure FF4FE would have been much happier to see that fight here. Although he's still, again, a extremely strong runner, as we kind of know to expect from FF4FE, showing us a good way to get through this fight safely. Although with that illusion down and getting punched is, as we can see, quite painful here. It will be interesting to see if microKorgs actually has a little bit of easier time here. He did that extra looting and maybe has this sorcerer robe. If you put that onto his form before coming in here, could be a lot of really good defense to make this a little less scary for him.
Yeah, and I tell you what, with that cure too, he still was able to keep that life lock going. So taking a little bit of a gamble, but I think, yep, he's through. Well done.
Well played there by FF4FE. Yeah, especially getting that heal in, but still being able to keep that life lock in was very nice play by him. Fortunately, the spot is relatively slow, so you get a good chance to get multiple commands in there.
All right, so we do have the sword and the adamant. So if we can get to the underground, that's objective 3 taken care of. What are we talking about with these objectives? We probably should explain that. For those who have never seen this before, welcome to our community. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying it so far, and enjoy your stay. You see that there are 5 objectives in the bottom center of your screen. Our contestants are going to have to complete 4 of those objectives, and if they do that, they will get the crystal. You're going to need to use that crystal to unlock effectively the Zemus fight, or whatever monster it is there. We'll talk about that in about an hour or so. And then at that point, you have to defeat Zemus, and the first contestant to do all of that will win the race and will go up 1-0 in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, exactly. And so, especially getting already one objective done there at the Dark Imps, and knowing we can do that forge with the other, or once we finally get in our underground access. And the interesting thing is, Darkness Crystal means objective number 2, Cave Bahamut. We know we can just do that whenever we want. We know where that is. There's no hunting for it, just once you unlock the Darkness Crystal. Which just means if we're lucky and walk into Wyvern or Mylon Z somewhere early, we could, enter go mode just with both underground access and wound access, which could happen early. Of course, there's always a chance Wyvern or Mylon Z are just hanging out in some of the rudest spots in the game, and it takes a long time to find that.
Oh, my body! Bye-bye, Mylon. Unfortunately, that's not Mylon Z. You're close, but Mylon Z is, it's in another location because we have a Leviathan fight over in round 2.
Yep. So, definitely having access here to our Lightning 2, or going straight for Virus. Leviathan is weak to Lightning, but Virus is also just a strong and fast spell, and if there's not too much HP at this location, FF4FE might just be trying to get through. That way, get through as fast as possible. Also, fortunately, the spot's really slow, so while you might have to deal with some pretty, have to deal with those big waves coming in, they're going to be coming in so slowly, it really isn't too concerning.
Well, microKorgs barely gets by Ashura with only 28 hit points, and but good enough, and going to move on. And FF4FE defeats. I was about ready to say defeats a virus, but he defeated Leviathan with a virus and scores the Magma Key. And this has the looks of a very quick C, but to be fair, we don't know where Wyvern or Mylon Z are quite yet.
Yeah, boss hunts, I'd say without a doubt, are the highest variance in your objectives, where you can sometimes just find them very quickly and thus have very fast seeds. But again, there's a lot of different, over 30 boss locations in the game, and so when you're still hunting for these 2 bosses, that's a lot of different spots to look. So if you're lucky and you stumble into them quickly, yeah, it could be fast. But they could be hiding in any one of those spots, including some that are really out of the way, places you really just do not want to go to, and can then end up resulting in a really long seed, especially if both our runners, say, try to go to the more common locations, more high percent chance plays, and it just turns out that's not where the bosses are hiding this time around.
Yeah. So there's Pankraz throwing down the magma key, and one of the advantages of getting the Legend Sword of the Adamant right away, and what will help out with these boss fights is the Sea Hero flag. Another benefit to that is that Forum's going to get a really cool item. We don't know what it is. It's one of 3 items or something like that, but it's going to be something good.
Definitely. So it is going to be a very strong item from the Forge here, which does your hero can equip. Unfortunately, Forge's probably just one of the not most exciting characters to be getting one of these items. Getting a Forge when you have, say, a fighter character, one of the people who just does their damage to the fight command, tends to be a lot more exciting, especially if you can get one unlocked early, as that can give you a ton of power straight nice and early on. If you're getting a really good staff for your white mage, it helps you heal more, which is okay, but not the thing that would necessarily get you through some of the fights in the sea all that much faster. I'm sure the bonks from the staff will probably be stronger than what we were seeing up to this point, but it's really not the same thing as like getting that able lance on a king hero.
Yeah, well, Pankraz is not worried about those things. He's worried about sending 4 little heroes down the Sylvan Cave, and they're scooping up Yang and popping him on the head with the pan, and the good fairies gave him the glass helmet.
So as we do not have our K-Summon flag on here, we're not going to be getting a item, or key item here from the Sylphs, but when we do go ahead and return that pan to Sheila, we'll be getting both the Sheila 1 check and the Sheila 2 check, so 2 key item checks through that return, and Pankraz will come into the Feymarch here to do the other freebie check here, which is just the item hanging out in Feymarch. So he's setting up to pick up 3 key items all really quickly without having to actually do any, say, boss fights. Just go ahead and walking and getting 3 items done, and we'll also see if while he's in the underground he does go and do that forge to, well, I was saying it's maybe not the biggest power spike, it is still a good item, as well as you can see what's for sale in that shop, which might also be able to provide him with the power spike.
All right, microKorgs completes the Baron Inn and picks up Yang and the magma key, and will also go underground. We have an Earth Crystal down at Pankraz's side, so that'll open up another key item, 2 new bosses, and also 2 new characters that could be added.
Yeah, definitely. Could be really nice to get, or we feel nice speaking, that Earth Crystal for those reasons you mentioned. Like, our party's not full yet, so going ahead and picking up some extra characters could be nice for this party, as well as maybe Pankraz hasn't done too much looting at this point. He might be really interested in getting to that treasury to get him a few more items, and even if he doesn't get anything great for his current party, maybe he can sell them to buy some of the really good gear that's available inside the Coalition.
Yeah. Now I noticed that the Gungnir spear was picked up over in Pankraz's side down in the Land of the Summoned Monsters. What did we see for bosses? We saw for like 3. It probably is not important because he's out of here.
I do believe that was demissed at the Asura spot, which is useful information, but definitely not something Pankraz has the power at all to tackle right now, so we'll go ahead and put that information away for later. And you need to be pretty strong to take on the demiss at that location, and especially do so it's not just a huge time sink. The spot is very fast, which means demiss quickly goes into that miss phase where you can't hit it. So good to know it's there, but you really need to power up a lot before you want to take that fight on.
Yeah. And now, even with that demiss, that would open up another boss, which could be Mylon Z or the Wyvern, and that is something that's going to be considered. Was that a life staff pickup and a Nirvana staff? So, which one would you take, the life staff or the Nirvana staff? I have no idea.
I think they actually both get the same boost to your white magic casting stat, although Nirvana might actually hit just a little harder. So go ahead and use that one. But for the most part, again, not the most exciting items for these, because, again, getting your white magic stat up means you'll cure a little harder, but until you unlock the white spell, you're not really getting through bosses all that much faster.
Yeah, so Pankraz is going to take care of the Fabul gauntlet checks, as microKorgs will now go somewhere else in the underground, and that space will be, looks like he's going to go down the lane of some monsters and go through that discovery. Key item over in Fabul is the hook. Okay, don't need to worry about that. And the package. Actually, you might have to worry about that because that opens up 2 new bosses, and the package opens up another boss fight.
Yep, exactly. Although the package boss fight is definitely a bit of a time sink, so you're hoping probably not to have to do that one. Although you might be interested in peeking who that character is, because for a very strong character, you might be willing to go ahead and sit through that cutscene. But yeah, we have a lot of character checks available to us now, so we can potentially go and try and fill out our party here with the hook character check, the package character check, and the 2 at the top of the slot.
Yeah, and and it looks like well, no, wait a minute. First, we're going to play everybody's favorite game show.
Great Vast Treasury!
I'm hoping the tune got played.
It got played.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have sound in here, but we have 2 ninja. Oh, Crystal Sword. Hello. If we can find Cecil. Whoa.
And the nice thing is, as we just got mentioned, all those character checks we have open is, hey, there's a decent chance of Cecil being in one of those locations. So definitely, I think our runners are going to value, once beginning the Crystal Sword, checking those character spots and see if they can get that Cecil. Definitely nice finding the Heroine Robe as well. As kind of actually pointed out in chat, getting that onto your forum with that Nirvana Rod can be really useful, as now Nirvana does give you the ability to just do the infinite star veils, very useful. And 2, with that Heroine Robe, your agility stats now really high, so you can get your turns nice and fast, which, battles where you want to get up those walls quickly is definitely a really nice addition there. And even in, say, if you're not using the Nirvana staff, just getting those berserk casts out quickly is a really nice thing. So that Heroine Robe is probably also a nice find. So overall, I'll give that one a Crystal Sword out of 10.
Crystal Sword out of 10 is one rating. Not this party out of 10. $, $9, $, out of 10. Where's Cecil out of 10? That's what I'd like to know. And various other out of 10s. I'm just gonna say that the White Wizard has equipped the tiara and some other things, and pretty much this party is rapidly powering up.
Definitely. So really probably happy seeing with the that treasury there. The Crystal Sword is huge itself, but even with this current party, we do have really good gear now onto our forum. And Kane is actually now really well equipped. The Gungnir is a pretty good spear, not his top weapon by any means, but definitely a strong kind of late game weapon. And together with that power shirt, he's going to be hitting pretty hard. Pankraz went ahead and put on the Sorcerer Robe there onto his form, as opposed to the Heroine Robe. So definitely good white magic stats for the rest of this game, although less with the agility, but you might actually be very interested in specifically keeping Porum's agility in a, not too high, as Porum is our hero here.
Yeah, of note, Pankraz did leave Yang at 1 hit point, so that means 2 things. That could mean 2 things, I should say. Number 1, he doesn't really care for and wants to get rid of Yang, and number 2, he wants Yang to take a little bit of an extended nap and engage the slingshot rule. You want to explain the slingshot rule?
Yeah, definitely. So once you have 5 characters in your party, then any characters who are below the middle character's level, 5 levels below that, start getting double experience through all fights. And especially if the grind you choose to do is something like the D-Machine grind, gets you experience all at once, you can end up just getting a ton of experience on that character, get them into really high levels. And Yang is one of those characters who his power pretty much all comes from his levels. He's affectionately called the Punch Mage for that reason. So being able to set him up to have that slingshot can be a really nice way to get one of your endgame characters online.
We have Rydia as the first character in the Tower of Zot. The second character is there it is. Hi, Cecil. Goodbye, Yang. I think Yang is not long for this party.
So that one's definitely interesting. Is you could drop out your Yang at this point. Do you need your Rydia? Is I guess the kind of open question. So would you rather hold on to the Yang for that reason over the Rydia? And it does look like Pankraz is happy to keep Yang, drop the Rydia, but definitely take your Paladin Cecil when you have a Crystal Sword.
Yeah, and don't listen to me make predictions anymore.
There definitely is an argument though for keeping that Rydia, which is almost to the point on that slingshot strategy, which is she comes in at level 1, so she would definitely be able to do a slingshot. Although right now our party's not set up great to say do a deep machine grind, so could be why he's not too interested in getting a strong slingshot character.
Yeah, microKorgs now going through the Mysidia treasure, not the Mysidia, the other place, that treasury. But wow, Octomam is getting pretty much dismantled here by Pankraz.
microKorgs finding out the good news there of a Crystal Sword is available in the seed, and so we'll see if he immediately dips into the Tower of Zod as well. Do the 2-character check and find out the good news of yes, you do get a Cecil to go with that Crystal Sword.
So Alistair over in chat just said calamari time. Do you like calamari?
Yeah, definitely a fan of it. Yourself?
Yeah. I love a good calamari. Yeah. I mean, especially like with a good aioli but anyway, we're gonna have Pankraz might have some calamari here this evening. Hey, we can ask him that during the interview.
Definitely follow up on that. So microKorgs will go ahead and be doing Tower of Zot, so he's interested in doing these character checks, which we do know will be rewarding at the very least. But is the key item itself helpful? Because we did whiff there on our bosses.
Yeah.
Key item, maybe that's a chain. So the hook, the rat tail, allow us to turn in the rat tail for another key item check. So it is potentially still useful here for finding us more in this seed. But even without that, Pankraz probably would have been happy simply because he did get that Paladin Cecil to use Crystal Sword. So we were happy with Tower of Zot, kind of whatever comes out of this.
Yeah, so Pankraz is going to proceed to see Bavalis there. Gonna very quickly hit the reset button. Yep, there it is. It took about 0.6 of 1 second. And we're going to fly over to the underground waterfall and see that boss, while microKorgs uses a tent and prepares for the first of his 2 boss fights. No, actually, Pankraz is going to pick up the hovercraft.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely can still check the waterfall while he's in the area. So, you can do either of these. They both totally work, which is check the waterfall first and launch the hovercraft, or again, the hovercraft, which moves a little faster, and use that to travel over to the waterfall. We'll have to see, unless Pankraz maybe did already peek this earlier, although I don't recall him doing that. But yeah, either of these work, and we'll let you check that boss, because we really do want to know where that Wyvern competency are.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Anna's telling microKorgs, fight thee! That's great. We did see, that's right, there was, yeah.
There was a blue rope there, and as we see Water Hag on microKorgs side, that would have to be the alt gauntlet in the waterfall, which we have no interest in dealing with. So let's go ahead and reset out there. It is.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have every reason to enjoy an alt gauntlet. I mean, I wrote a randomizer that's all for bull gauntlets, for crying out loud.
So some people are really big fans of the bull gauntlets. The rest of us, especially while running, like to not see them if at all possible.
Fair enough. Crystal Ring picked up over in the Rat Tail Cave there.
Still, not progress, but definitely a really strong piece of equipment. It gives tons of defenses, and importantly, +5 agility, which we find agility manipulation can be really important to do, especially on sea hero flags. So really nice for Pankraz to have another agility manipulation item in his back pocket to use as he sees fit at different parts of the sea.
Rexwall in chat said, I invented the alt gauntlet, so I always love it. Good for you. I like that. I like it.
I definitely should not have spoken for everyone when I said you don't want to see it. There are definitely runners who want to see that alt gauntlet. So Pankraz, it is worth noting, didn't bother to peek that package, so he doesn't know which character is there, but is interested here in checking out the Hook character and potentially the Hook boss.
Oh. Edge.
Character is definitely an interesting one to see here is Edge. But also do note that's a Lunar Sparkle. So that has a chance of being our Wyvern still, which does Pankraz now go ahead and put in the time to check that? Does he note it for later and hopes to see a few more Lunar Sparkles before he starts deciding that is Wyvern? But the Edge into the party is definitely interesting because I was also kind of noting grinding options weren't super obvious really at this point. Edge does enable us to steal Sirens, which is definitely an option for Pankraz.
Yep, and that's exactly what happened. He takes the Edge, and gonna go to the save point. Let's see what he does after that. Is he gonna proceed? He is gonna proceed on. Here we go. And I think I know what he's doing. He's going to do the first boss and take care of that, and then he'll look at the second boss, and if it doesn't work out, then he's gonna go back to the previous spot.
Exactly, so make it nice. He does want that Edge in his party, so he goes and makes a save right close to that, and I think exactly as you say, he'll get through that first boss, and then the second one isn't Wyvern, he can reset and he's right back at that save point without having to do any additional walking. And likely he'll be able to get through the next boss there. I mean, he has a Crystal Sword Cecil, although not a ton of levels on him, but that Edge, who is at least a decent level for this location, probably means in the King Queen spot will not give him too much trouble.
Yeah.
Probably. There's always some rude bosses, so we just have to see who's there.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, microKorgs has totally dismantled the Octomam via a couple Berserk stats, so well played there. And he has also dismissed Rydia, so 17 levels for a Paladin, bleh. And then there we go.
Definitely. We did see Pankraz there equipping his Edge with 2 ninja swords. That's definitely good gear there for him. A very strong character already at this point. And those are strong enough weapons to continue to let Edge be useful right until the end game.
Oh, yikes. Antlion, and he's swinging very quickly, but Cecil has an idea about that. He's throwing down a crystal sword for 1700 damage, and that's a nice start for 2000. So hopefully he can get rid of Antlion in a hurry here.
Yeah, definitely. So throwing out the dart to avoid the counter there from the Antlion, we're doing some good damage. Cecil definitely hitting well, so I don't think Antlion will be long for this world. Well, microKorgs seems really interested in a similar route here that Pankraz did, which is, well, got this rat tail, better launch my hovercraft. We'll probably see him peek the waterfall as well, and turn in that rat tail. It'll be interesting to see if he also comes here to check the hook route character and bosses, because this Lunar Sparkle is not important at all.
Oh, back we go. But we are was Edge, so consolation prize.
Definitely, especially because maybe that is our way to go ahead and get our grind done for this seed. We are sitting at how many key items at this point? Is that 8? Never do math on stream.
No, that is. Oh yeah, that is 1, 2. Yeah, that's 8. I was like, oh, you don't count that. Oh wait a minute, no, there's the 8th item hiding there. So, it looks like he's going to do something. Oh, he's going to go through the dwarf castle.
Yeah. So dwarf castle definitely not too hard of a location. Another chance at key item could very well be showing that he's interested in trying to hit that 10 key items before he commits to doing any grind, as well as, hey, you get another character check here. Maybe he'll find someone he'd prefer to have in this party.
Or maybe he'd prefer that sparkle that was jumping behind the throne room. So here we go again. Next sparkle. What do we have left? I think we have the Plague and the Wyvern, and that's it? No, Ogopogo.
Ogopogo is still at large as well. So, again, that information is being really useful as we get through. Oh, never mind. As we find Wyvern, we don't care anymore about Sparkles. We found our Wyvern.
We have one of my favorite flags, which is the Witchburn, mainly because of its comedy. And, geez, what? Oh, that's it.
I love seeing that Witchburn. That one's always. Oh man, am I going to survive? Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. This Plague Wyvern just blew himself up. Okay, great, we win. Wyvern done about as quickly as it could be done.
And I believe we're going to be fighting some Bygengars, because that was at the top of the Tower Zot. Not Bygengars, Barengars, that's what it's called. There's Tella, we're going to throw him away quite well. No, we're not going to throw them away. We're going to dismiss them quite quickly. Oh no, that's not that's officers and soldiers. There we go.
Definitely. So, yeah, that sprite can be either the Baron Guards or the Officer Soldier fights. It turns out it's the Officer Soldier fight here. Both those fights, though, are kind of nice, but generally pretty easy fights to handle as they don't have boss bits enabled. So they're usually not the hardest ones. You can just throw status ailments at them and just kind of win. Pankraz here, interested in getting through the fight as fast as possible, which is kill off the soldiers and the officer runs away. You get less experience this way, but again, with access to that edge for grinding, he just wants to get through everything as fast as he possibly can. microKorgs there does see the sparkle, is making a save. Are we going to see the exact same play here?
It does look that way, and to that note, I'm going to have to put down an observation made by Firebird Lover in chat. I'm just going to say a quote word before word. microKorgs is playing well. Unfortunately, he is following Pankraz step for step, and when you're playing against the #1 seed, who, as I said from the top, he went 4 from 4 for qualifying races and has gone 8-0 in the bracket. That is, you have to take risks, and those risks are not coming right now.
I very well think microKorgs could be believed what he's doing right now is the risk he's taking, which is, hey, this is a somewhat costly check to just look at the sparkle to see if it's the fight we want, and maybe this is the thing Pankraz didn't do, and it's his chance to get ahead and maybe find that wyvern. Although we happen to know, 1, Pankraz already did this check, and 2, we also know that's not where wyvern is. But I'm sure microKorgs might be thinking, hey, how can I make some risky plays? And this could be one he is thinking is a good risk to be taken. Dwarf Castle did, by the way, award us the Lucky Key, which Pankraz is following up on right now. So a somewhat lengthy walk to get down here and take on a relatively hard boss, at very least a very fast boss, depending on whatever we run into there. But the nice part is you do get to check the key item before you actually have to fight through that boss. So if you find out it's a dud and the boss is mean, just leave, don't do any of it.
Yes, but you do have to check both places. You do have to check both things. You have to check not only the key item, but you do have to check the boss because Mylon Z is still at large.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you can definitely check the key item, go, that's a dud, something we don't need. Potentially like Sand Ruby, maybe we're not too interested in following up on, or maybe it's not even a key item. But yeah, you still need to check that boss because if it is Mylon Z, you need that information. That being said, any item we do find does put us at that 10 key item threshold, which is somewhat interesting. So, even if it's not what we need, you might want to keep it depending on just how rude that boss is, although walking out is also a bit of a time sink.
Alright, so the key item is the black shirt, so that's not a key item at all.
Not a key item.
Yeah, and now, but he still will check the boss. If it's not Mylon Z, then I believe we're going to have a reset. Meanwhile, microKorgs totally dismantled the Antlion very well. Rubicante is the boss there, so that's a reset. We're going back to the top, and I'm thinking we're going to be doing some siren hunting here, I think.
Yep, so we do have the top of towers and available key item check to do, and that also provides us the ability to steal sirens while we're in here. So we'll see what the Order of Pankraz is interested in doing those two things, but definitely looking for another key item check to find, make more checks available for him so he can continue to progress through the seed, while at the same time, potentially setting up his grind. So microKorgs did want bad news, that is not wyvern, and resets out just as quickly, and see where he's interested in heading. Which hopefully it's not going to be too long to get into that dwarf castle, given we do have wyvern hanging out there.
Yep. This has literally been the exact same path that Pankraz has been going, it's totally understandable, but it also can be. It also is like, you continuously fall in behind because you're doing the exact same play, and unfortunately, you have to do something different But anyway, I've talked about that before already, so we're gonna move on.
Yeah, to be fair though, we're running actually out of things to do. We actually only have this top of tower check and that demist as our 2 checks left. So there's only so many places microKorgs could have actually been going to try to take this risk. Golbez here on the top of the tower.
Yep. So now that means 3 characters are going to get disrupted here. Actually, 2 characters because one's already gone. But unless Kane can jump very quickly, which he does not, so yeah, we will be having 2 characters going. Yeah, I guess we.
All right. I believe we are back now. Sorry about that technical difficulties. Just to catch everyone up, stream was, or might have seen in chat, kind of updates there, but it looks like Pankraz got through Golbez, who did importantly have the Darkness Crystal, so that is a big find, giving us our moon access and the ability to get to objective number 2. And he went ahead and stole a handful of Sirens there to be able to do some grind. I didn't see an actual count there, so we'll see how many Sirens he has access to, but is in going ahead and taking on at least 1 egg here to start getting some levels to get his grind going.
Yeah, so this is looking, it's looking really good right now for Pankraz because you have those 10 key items with those double experience points. Numerous levels have been gained already by our heroes. So, meanwhile, microKorgs is gonna work on Golbez here and we'll hopefully defeat it, and we'll take it from there.
Yep. So we did see microKorgs landing outside Dorp Castle, so it looks like he did go through that, finish off his Wyvern, probably then got the Luca key as well. I'm not sure if he went ahead and dipped into the Luca to see what was down there. But went ahead and followed up. Even if he did do the Luca key, he has now gone up the tower as well to find the Golbez, which is critical as that does provide us the Darkness Crystal, which will give us access to the moon, which is a ton of more boss locations, that cave Bahamut, and which might get us enough to enter our go mode.
Yep, exactly.
Sorry, so we are in go mode with Darkness Crystal. Cave Bahamut, enough for 4.
Yes, exactly. And down goes another raid there, and there's another 68,000 experience, so we're going to do that quite a few times. So I think we're going to take a moment to thank the Restream team here. So our Restreamer, Cubs Rule 21, having a little bit of having to deal with some of the technical issues. So, but I know that's it's always a tough thing, and we thank Cubs Rule very much for the support in this tournament. Also, in the tracking duties, Alchemy. She's been doing a lot of that, and I believe it's the second time I've been working with her during this tournament. So thank you very much for your help during this tournament. And finally, we have Klopfer as my co-commentator, and thank you very much. Been nice working with you this evening.
And great working with you as well, Game Boy F9. We did go ahead and just link everyone there in chat to give everyone a follow. Thanks for the hard work for all the Restream team, as well as big shout out, of course, to our runners, xPankraz and microKorgs, for putting on a great show for us today.
Absolutely. And, looks like microKorgs is using the wall strat to take care of Golbez here, and I really like this. I really like this strategy. He doesn't have very high magic, but definitely will do the job here.
Yeah, it keeps you safe at a moment, which is really important. To not die in the fight, even though those magic attacks not doing a ton of damage. And then you can dish out your own damage to try to finish him off here, which, you know, Palom can definitely do some of that. Forum will go ahead and try to pick up Cecil, who can definitely do a bunch of damage if we keep him alive. So it is a little challenging. The magic power is high enough, it can kill your characters who you throw a life pod on, but not high enough to take out Golbez quickly. So it's kind of the worst case magic power level.
Well, we've got a big sale going on over in Pankraz's side. Everything must go for a power shirt and a defense sword. Kane can equip the defense sword. I was thinking to myself, why defense sword when you have the crystal sword? Oh, it's because Kane can equip the defense sword.
Yeah, exactly. It's arguably one of his best weapons. That and the White Spear are both very powerful. A little bit of trade-offs between them, but you're really happy to get defense sword onto Kane there, as well as power shirt, so you can just hit that much harder with it. Really going to be between those two and the levels we got through the Sirens, really getting this team into a at very least really high damage output mode. Our ability to cure, not quite as good. We do have our White Mage, although she is not as high HP growth as Rosa, which can be problematic, like not for cave value, but can be interesting as we get into that Zeromus fight, because if you have to eat full strength big bangs, those are scary.
Oh, very unlucky over on microKorgs side. He got hit with the virus just as Cecil was about to swing, and because Golbez is going quite quickly, he's struggling to get output, but he finally gets it with that 5,400 damage Crystal Sword swing, and down goes Golbez.
Great work, and he'll get the news here. This is his Darkness Crystal, so very important item. Putting him there into the go mode, and we'll see also how he plans to grind. So will he also steal a handful of Sirens here to follow up on that, or plan to use the Darkness Crystal for the alternate grinds? He kind of can do the machines, because we did find Atella, or you could go ahead and do the Map Giants, although it does look like he's interested here in doing the Sirens.
Yep, exactly. And FF4FE is going to go to the Big Whale Inn, costing a whopping 0 gold pieces. So, and then what level are we at? 46, 45. So I don't think behemoths are on the table. Maybe they are, but I'm doubting it. So, yeah, let's see how this all works out here.
Yeah, exactly. FF4FE might be totally happy with the levels he got just to doing the Sirens. We'll get a little more influx here from going ahead and taking on the cave Bahamut boss location. Not a ton, but a little bit. And definitely with the equipment he has, which is really good, I think he definitely is feeling like he has enough power to take on Zeromus.
Yes, and yeah, he's definitely skipping the behemoths. Oh, we're gonna have to play Odin. So here's how Odin works. You have 30 seconds to deal about 35,000 hit points of damage. If you do not do so within that 30 seconds, you will die. That's how that works.
Odin will go ahead and use the Odin spell, which does a ton of damage, and the magic power here, will not terribly high, is still probably high enough, at the very least for lower HP point characters will take them down. Maybe Cecil would live, but our damage output here is pretty good, especially because Odin is very weak to lightning. So that light 3 doing quad 9s is really going to help us get through that HP pretty fast.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was his third swing, so that sword is coming up very soon, and the lightning damage dealer also was the recipient of one of those hits and is now swooned, but trying to hurry it up, dealt another 10,006, 15. Got Odin! Well played.
The Crystal Sword is a solution to many problems you run into in Free Enterprise. So just being able to do 5,000 damage a swing there, Berserk getting those out as fast as possible. You did see FF4FE was hanging out on Kane there. He was potentially being ready to time that jump if he needed it, but he was counting his damage, saw he was close enough there, and just ended the play.
Wow, that definitely was a close call, but it was good enough, and that is the fourth objective for FF4FE, and that means a crystal, and it is time to take on the final boss of the game, I believe.
Yes, it does look like FF4FE will be taking on Zeromus here. He's likely happy with his levels. He does have access to the pass, so a nice quick ability to get to that. He did pick up a ribbon. We might see him throw that on, as it is a very nice piece of gear. But otherwise, he's probably feeling pretty good about going on or taking on this fight at this point.
Yeah. So, something else is. Oh no! Of course, something else is not going to happen. He's going to Troya, and it's time to have a little discussion about the final boss, because it's not Zeromus. It's one of 600 different forms of Zeromus. Now, they all do the exact same thing, but they just look a little different, and and some of them are really nasty. Some of them look really, really pretty, and you really don't want to find them, but you have to, because you have to win the game. So, you know what that means, Cloffer. You have to ask the question.
For sure. So definitely. So this is a randomizer. We try to randomize as much as we can, but Zeromus just way too mean, way too big. We can't put him anywhere. You don't want big bangs coming out at the Mist Cave. Well, most people don't. So we don't randomize his location. But what we do randomize, as we said there, is his sprite. So what does he look like? The crystal will reveal that true form, and we will see who will fight. And that leads us to that big question, which is, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight? As well as a few follow-up questions, such as, is it a cute butt? Does it have a butt? And just butt-related questions, basically. And so we will get to see who Pankraz is facing tonight while microKorgs Kozan launches his Lunar Whale here. So getting ready to go ahead and do his Cave Bahamut, which will get him his crystal.
Yep. That is a good that is a good question. Oh, we have a substitution that's going to take place. Yang has come into the party, and here comes the crystal, and here comes the monster, and I'm going to start doing some quick math here. All right, I got my pen and paper out. This isn't just for Dragon Warrior Randomizer. This is free enterprise, and I would call that pretty cute. Shyness.
Yeah, but shyness. I'm going to agree. That definitely keep up there.
Oh, unfortunately, the first swing missed there, so we're gonna have to try again. But 6,300 damage. Woo, that is quite the swing there. Berserk comes down, and Edge is Berserk.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
A virus gas here coming out from Palom, so that's to trigger the counter nuke, which will go ahead and nerf the first Big Bang. The nuke to not just immediately destroy your party, reduces Zeromus's magic power, which means his Big Bang will also end up doing less damage. The first one's really easy to nerf, you just need to trigger any counter nuke before it comes out. Subsequent ones are harder to nerf, so it'll be interesting to see what Pankraz is going to be doing there for future Big Bangs, because he doesn't have a lot of HP on, say, his Porum, his White Mage. But his damage numbers are so high, how many Big Bangs is he going to have to see?
Yeah, I think at this point he might only see 2 of them. 25,700 damage points have already been administered here. Zeromus has 60,000 hit points, but after about 41,000, which is coming up very quickly, I think his HP will reset back up to 60,000. So I believe that's what's going to happen right about now. So he's got 60,000 hit points to go to win this race.
And Pankraz showing here why he is seed number 1. Berserk glitch his Edge there to only have 1 sword, so the attack animation is just a bit faster, so saving, I don't know, half a second on every swing there, but still getting the full strength from his weapons, due to just the way Berserking works when you change your weapons without actually issuing a command. So Pankraz, just his optimization just showing why he is the number 1 seed in this.
Yeah, absolutely. And he only had to put down a Cure 3 there, as we're rapidly coming down to the finish here. I am really struggling with the math. Down to 26,000 hit points now, and there goes another 48. Does go off the wall, which will not proc the nuke. I believe we are just about to enter. Yep, we are now in Rock's territory. But the shake is going to happen, but the Big Bang will not. So, yeah, I believe we are just about done. I believe we have 500 points to go. And, oh, nope, there's a little bit more. No, we are done. We are done. Yep,
and
good game.
GG's.
Final time, 60 minutes, 29 seconds, and another well-played seed by Pankraz. He goes up to 9-0 in bracket play, and if you count the qualifying races, make it 13-0. So he's still the runner to beat here in this tournament.
Definitely. Very well played there by Pankraz, showing us excellent play through this entire seed, just doing the checks in order as it became available to him, and just getting through everything really quickly to be able to get that just over 1 hour finish time. And I did hear a ping there. Sounds like Pankraz has joined us. GG's, Pankraz. And I think we're just getting some audio set up, so hopefully Pankraz will be able to hear us soon, and then we'll move into the interview. As while we just watch microKorgs here is going ahead and getting his grind done, gain those levels so he can take on Cave Bahamut and head straight into his own Zemus Zone.
All right, we're here now. I can hear
Hey, Pankraz. Again, GG's, well played.
Hey, GG's, thank you very much.
So, definitely, what was your kind of thought, I guess, in this seed here, just at the opening phase there, when you see that Porum start? What's kind of going through your mind?
Porum start, I was a little sad. I was already hypothesizing having an Edward as my second starter, having a Tella on Hobbs, and it's just the worst low power, slow start that I could ever think of. I find no J items, I find nothing. All of this is running through my head like 3 minutes before the seed starts. Then seed starts, and I see that it's Palom, and I say, oh, this is the complete opposite. I can just blow everything up with Twin. I am not going to loot. I'm going to go. And then I find CPU.
Exactly.
That was one of 2 bosses that just ruins my thunder. CPU and Magus Sisters. And so we walk away, and we resume the plan elsewhere. If I luck into the Dancing Dagger in Antlion Cave, rather, and then from that point, it's just a lot of steamrolling the early game.
Definitely, and very good use there. Twin to take on multiple fights, and with that virus, it seemed like you're also able to weave in those virus casts and Twin to really keep dishing up the damage quickly, so you're able to get through a lot of those boss fights fast. I guess when you did kind of start seeing, say, the Dark Imps early and that half of your Forge, kind of thoughts on how fast you thought this seed might be, or were you just kind of interested in doing your checks more or less in order?
Some of both. You know, like front of the or back of the mind, or I don't know what the right word is. The motor system is like, okay, let's just do the checks in order. And then, you know, the actual thinking part of the brain is like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? See, this is a little too fast for my triple boss hunt. And as I'm going through the normal overworld circuit, I figure I'll take the Fabul for the extra XP, even though I have the pan in the inventory. I'm thinking, what am I going to find here? I mean, you know, depending on where the bosses are, I could just be a Darkness Crystal from Go mode, or what have you. And then I find the Adamant on Ordeals, and I say, okay, depending on where the bosses are times 2, I could be in Darkness Crystal Go mode. And at that point, it's just a lot of prioritize as many checks as I can, see what I can find.
We did see after you finished the Tower of Zot, which one, you know, you had your Crystal Sword, you had your Cecil at that point. You were not interested in doing package, but you were interested in doing the hook character check. Can you kind of walk us through why you chose one and not the other there?
Part of it was for the bosses. Like, I get to see the one boss at the Rubicon spot right away. Maybe if that one is a Sparkle, then I charge down there and I see what the King Queen Emblem spot is as well. Maybe Korgs doesn't do that. And both of those things happened, so that was neat. But also, I wanted to just nicely route in, like, Rat Tail to the Eblin Castle or the Eblin Cave checks to just sort of follow that general sense of direction. The package, I figured, wouldn't necessarily be valuable to me. Most character checks wouldn't necessarily be valuable to me. I was mostly just exactly an edge would make my party stronger, and I found exactly an edge on the hook route, which was
Definitely. Was anything, I guess, kind of going through your mind on what your grind was looking like if you didn't stumble into that edge?
without the edge, I mean, I was thinking of Mac Giants from, well, basically as soon as I found Yang. That was in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, maybe we find some ogre killing stuff and we go to town. But then finding the Luca Key in Dwarf Castle, as I was walking down there, I was thinking, okay, wait, maybe I don't even steal Sirens. Maybe I'll just do doors on the way out if this is Darkness Crystal and 10 key items.
Nice, yeah.
And then, of course, Tella was in Dwarf Castle too, so maybe I'd just do a D machine. Like,
Yeah.
the Seed offered a lot of grind options, and I think, like, those would sort of be the 3 that I'd be considering should I not have found the edge in that order.
Definitely, really. You had pretty much, you're right, all the options there in front of you to choose from. Of course, maybe Sirens, especially with 10 key items, just it seemed like the fast ones.
Yeah, they're pretty good, especially when you're already in the tower to get your Darkness Crystal.
Exactly. When you did see your Sirens, did you kind of have your plan there of exactly how many went in for both levels, and were you had any interest in, say, stealing a Silk Web, so get the Siren for the Centipede fight?
Yeah, that's why I stole one extra one. My
Ah,
plan was to, after shopping in Kokol, to use that one siren left and steal a silk web and go to town, and then I forgot.
All
So that
right.
was fun. But
That
in
definitely
terms of like
happens.
how many I wanted to do for levels, I knew that I didn't need a lot. I had a power shirt, crystal sword Cecil. I had a double ninja sword edge. I could buy another power shirt and a defense sword for Kane. I would easily be doing 10,000 damage berserkers. So I figured I would just, go there at like level 45-ish and see what happens.
All right, excellent. And seems like it turned out well. That fight went great for you. And some very nice optimizations. Chat was noticing there on your equipment switching and berserking. So very well played.
The edge one was like the minor optimization. The Kane one was just for fun.
Excellent. That was definitely noted and appreciated by chat. Game Boy, did you have any questions you want to have?
I'm just going to ask a more casual question because Klopfer and I were wondering about this after the Octomamps fight. Do you like calamari?
I haven't had it much, but it's not bad. It's dependent on how it's prepared a bit, I'd say.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about the preparation. If you don't prepare it right, it's either going to be very rubbery or something or another. So
yeah, exactly, and nobody wants rubbery squid. That's weird.
Yeah, how many big bangs did you see in that final fight? I think there was only one.
Yep,
correct.
Just the one and the one Meteo at the end of it all.
Oh yeah. Oh, you did get rocks. I didn't even see that because I think you had a shake and then you went under 12,000. No, you went under 12,000. Then you had the shake and then I had to quickly cross everything out and then you were down to and then he was down to 500 hit points. So,
yeah, yes, it's fight goes quick when you're pumping out 12,000 damage berserkers. Well, 10 to 12,000.
Yeah,
that's
and
one of those nice damage ranges where you, assuming that you can get everybody berserked in a timely manner, you aren't going to see a second Big Bang.
Yeah, and it definitely was well played and another victory for you. And so you're 9-0 now in the bracket stage, and if you count the qualifying races, then you're 13-0. Your thoughts about this? Are you thinking undefeated at this point, or what are your thoughts right now as you move on here?
Oh, that's what I have doing in my bracketology. So hopefully I can make that happen. Although that is kind of a joke, like I don't expect to go. What is it? 17-0, whatever the dream is that I have. I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm gonna drop games. It's gonna happen. It would be really cool and kind of fun if I did, but like the talent level in the community is just so high, and like I said it in the qualifiers after like I raced my second one and I finished 2 back-to-back first. I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna happen. I can't keep this up, and then I did somehow. So maybe I won't, and if I do, I won't be surprised whatsoever. But maybe I will keep up the undefeated streak, and that would be fun.
Oh, the play has definitely been excellent all through this tournament and through this seed as well. So GG's to you again. Thanks also for playing us the music. Thoughts on preparing for, I guess, your next race? Thoughts on how you'll go through that race? And most importantly, when is that race so we can all catch it?
We'll start with the last question. That race is tomorrow at the same time, 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. So should be a fun time. And should a game 3 be needed, that is also the day after on, I want to say that's Thursday now. Yeah, Thursday, same time once again, 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. Preparation, gonna keep playing my game. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good game. It's worked so far, and ultimately, all I can do is hope to play well. I feel like I played pretty well in this seed. Maybe a couple of gambles, like the hook route and the Luca Cave, didn't pan out, but that's all right. It happens sometimes.
Sure.
And hopefully, we get another fantastic game tomorrow. Looking forward to watching this one back, hearing all of your guys' commentary, Klopfer and Game Boy. Thank you both for the commentary. Thank you, Alchemy, for the tracking. And thank you, Cubs, for putting on the show. Sorry that there seemed to be an audio hiccup at the start of things. I clicked on my record button, and then OBS just decided I'm going to disconnect right now. So, sorry on that front, but thank you all so much for putting on the show. And hopefully it was effective.
And as always, big thanks to you for putting on the race for us. It's a lot of fun to watch you run.
Of course, glad you enjoyed. So, big GGs again to microKorgs. I will bow out. You all have a fantastic rest of the evening.
Right,
You too. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, so we have started the Zemus fight over in microKorg side. Gonna throw down that silk web that he picked off all those centipedes, and we'll get that counter nuke. Same location as xPankraz, so 1700 damage to Kane. And there's Shake, and he will survive that first Shake.
We do see a bit higher levels here on microKorg, so definitely he'll maybe feeling a little safer going through the entirety of this fight. With some somewhat higher damage numbers. Also, the Yang here mixed in to have even more Berserker targets and more people to be throwing out damage, as well as just really high HP pool there on that Yang. So if he does eat a full strength Big Bang into a Meteor, Yang can take all that damage and still be up and punching.
Yep, absolutely. And here comes that first Big Bang. Unfortunately, did not get the Cure 3 off in time, but should be okay. A little bit short there, but not short enough. 200 damage left, 200 hit points left, excuse me, and we
all
are
we need is one.
Yeah, that's right, and we are very quickly heading into the HP reset, and there it is. So 60,000 hit points to go.
These high levels, and as we kind of noted, this seed just gave us great gear. It means we can really do that damage quickly. The HP refill can be nice to avoid one of those Big Bangs. If you see that Shake, but can get to the refill there, you'll get to move on to the next part of the script, not have to face that full strength Big Bang. But yeah, again, with these very high damage numbers and up to Berserk, we very well could not even have to see that full strength Big Bang, which means that really big HP pool on Yang might not be all that important.
Yeah, exactly. And now I don't think we're seeing a lip because I think somebody got dismissed. I believe the Black Wizard got dismissed. It's pretty much all physical all the time, as we're down to 29,600 hit points to go and rapidly falling.
Definitely, it's looking pretty safe here for microKorgs and getting through this fight with both very quickly and with potentially everyone still standing. But yeah, as people say, Crystal Sword says so, go Bird, and he just makes quick work of this fight. And the other three fighters dishing out good amounts of damage, it's just making this real fast for microKorgs.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see another Big Bang because we saw the Shake, but he is now under 12,000 hit points, and man, we're just about there. I believe 1,000 to go. All we just need is a swing. Nope, Meteor is going to happen first. Aw.
Yeah. So we do actually the one cast Meteor, but definitely safe with this party. We'll not be taking anyone out here, and so damage should just keep coming, and Zemus is not long for this.
Yeah, I think I did a little bit of a miscalculation there, but that should do it. Yep. Down goes Zemus.
GG's microKorgs.
Yep, final time, 74 minutes, 47 seconds. Nice palindrome there, but unfortunately, he will be going down 1-0 in this series.
And just inheriting there, I believe microKorgs has joined us. GG's microKorgs.
Hey, I came in second tonight, feeling really good about that. And GG, of course, to xPankraz, putting up that really impressive time. I knew when I saw how everything laid out that there's a potential for sub-hour, and it looks like he missed it by just a little under 30 seconds. So, what can you say about our number one seed? He's just amazing, but fun seed to play. Yeah, nice to talk to you both.
Definitely. So, I suppose with that in mind, kind of going up against xPankraz and number one seeds you play, and very, very strong runner, what's kind of your strategy in general on going into these seeds, having to play against him?
I mean, flat-footed race, I think he beats me 99 out of 100 times. I can maybe sneak one in somewhere, but so I'm looking for gambles, but this seed really didn't provide them. And like the gamble I made of going down Hook, of course, xPankraz did too. Going down Luca, xPankraz did too. I mean, anything I feel like I've gotten much better at this game over the past year, but then xPankraz, of course, is the class of this game right now. So it's just, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch it back and see the 15 minutes he saved over me, essentially probably doing the same route. Even if I hadn't gone down Hook, even if I hadn't gone Luca, even if I'd cut my grind a little shorter still, I mean, that only saves me maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes. So just, Pankraz plays in a way that's aspirational, and again, I'm gonna give it my best tomorrow. I'm not gonna roll over. We'll see if there's some more spots for gambles.
For sure. Definitely makes a lot of sense there on your strategy, but you're right. The way this seed just played out, we were kind of noting that in the stream there. You just didn't have too many options. Things just kind of played in a very linear fashion, and there was only so many places to go. Just kind of, I guess, when the seed started there and you saw your Porm start, what's your thoughts on that? How happy are you to see that character, and how do you think about kind of getting through a seed, giving you a Porm at the beginning?
I mean, I don't mind Porm with the possibility of finding Howard Robe. If you find that early, then that makes the overworld pretty simple. And I like the fact that it lets you, assuming you don't have a faster character, basically go right to her for your Berserks or Blinks at the start of battles. So I was hoping to find one of those. I guess I eventually did, in the Treasury. But then you see the Twin, and that kind of makes you think you don't really need to loot much. I looted a little bit. I was happy to find that Mage Gear in the watery pass right at the start. But yeah, then I think what was CPU was the first boss. So having the poison axe, So I think I did less looting at the beginning, and happy with the Twin start, of course.
Yep, for sure. Definitely makes a lot of sense there. Take advantage of that spellcasting and not need to get as much gear as you did in other ways. Once you kind of did get to the underground, what was kind of your thought process in tackling through that?
I guess I want to do all my freebies. We had the pen at that point. Darkness, I might have immediately gambled and started face checking all the spots.
For sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to see where the seed was going, but it turned pretty linear. I'm trying to remember my steps there. Getting the Treasury was nice. Of course, the Crystal Sword leading, Crystal Sword in the basement, Cecil in the attic. That's a pretty nice odd combo.
Definitely always happy to see that. You still were interested, though, in checking the hook route at that point. Was that for the character check, or were you hoping there for maybe that boss spot leading to any of your boss hunts?
It was both. So if that was a character I didn't want to sit through the little mini cutscene for, I probably would have reset. And if it wasn't a Sparkle, it wasn't. So Edge, of course, I wanted. If that hadn't been a Sparkle, and obviously not a Purple Robe, that might have been another gamble I might have made anyway, just to check the KQE spot. Seeing the Sparkle, my thought was, okay, what if Pankraz doesn't do this and it's Mylon Z into Wyvern? That's my shot.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, I was hoping for the Grand Slam there, but obviously we had the Lunars, we had the Antlion, and Pankraz ended up doing it anyway. So
yeah, for sure. Definitely makes a lot of sense there on the routing, though. What was your thoughts on grinding at different points in that seed? Maybe kind of solid in once you saw that edge, but were you thinking different thoughts maybe up to that point?
Nothing specific. I mean, without an edge, with the Crystal Sword, Cecil, Behemoths at 10 key items become pretty appealing, or some moon checks maybe. But before I'd start thinking too seriously about it, the edge showed up. Speaking of Cecil, with my naming scheme, I didn't know the word "she's" would land on Cecil. So throughout the seed, I thought of him, especially with the Crystal Sword and the Power Shirt, like as Battleship Cecil, and like the nautical she. So whenever it said she's gained a level, I was picturing like a big battleship gaining levels. That kind of kept me, kept my spirits up, buoyed up, if you will, as the seed went on.
Love it. Definitely goes well with the going burr there.
Yeah.
Game Boy F9. Any other questions here for microKorgs?
I'm going to ask the same question I asked Pankraz. Do you like calamari?
Yeah, I mean, when they get that breading perfectly light and the cook is perfect, and I like it the classic way, but there's this restaurant I haven't been to in a while that like really puts a crazy balsamic dressing on it, which is not like any other calamari I've had. So the answer is yes in many forms.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write that down. Balsamic vinegar on calamari. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's a sticky sweet sauce. I don't know exactly what's in it. I know that's the base, and it's just it's unlike any calamari I've had, but it's kind of a treat.
Oh, I bet they throw in honey or something like that. Or molasses, something to make it thicker.
Yes, you're getting it.
Yeah. So you pretty much had the same Z fight in the end there. Very, very quick. You got your one big bang, and you did get rocks at the end when you were down to about 5,000 hit points or something like that. But yeah, another very good Z fight there from you.
I was hoping when I saw the rocks that Porn would get the kill with the Nirvana staff. That would have been a fun way to end it, but unfortunately, I think it came down to Kane. But yeah, I felt pretty comfortable in that fight with the Silk Web, with Yang as my backstop in case Porn went down, and all the damage from Crystal Sword and 2 Ninja Swords. I didn't think there'd be any issue there.
Yep, exactly. All right, very good. Final thoughts here as you enter Game 2 tomorrow afternoon.
No, I'm just going to do my best, try to extend it to a Game 3. I heard the tail end of Pankraz's interview where he was optimistic about maybe running a clean sweep through the tournament, but acknowledging that he might lose a game or two. So I suggest if he wants to lose one, maybe tomorrow. Could be a good day to schedule that in. It's good for me if it's good for him, but I know what I'm up against. I'm going to give it my best, and I'm looking forward to running another race.
All right, that sounds good, and good game once again, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks for all your work behind the scenes, Alchemy and Cubs, and thank you, Game Boy and Cleffer, for the call. And yeah, we'll race. I got one more race at least, and I'm looking forward to it. See you then.
All right, see you then. Cleffer, your final thoughts before I go ahead and wrap things up here.
For sure, I do want to just say that was definitely a fun scene to watch. It did end up being kind of linear there, and I think as kind of everyone noted, Pankraz is just so good, such a strong player that it's hard to beat him when you just don't really have that opportunity to take some risks and get divergence. So I'm hoping to see a little more open of a seed tomorrow, give microKorgs maybe some opportunities for that divergence and jump ahead there and lead us into that Game 3. But I know I'm definitely excited to watch it, so I'll be tuning in for that one.
Absolutely, and I'm going to go ahead and do a few announcements here. I just want to look. Okay, got it. All right, got it. All right, so at this point, I hope you'll take the opportunity to follow everyone in this broadcast. Klopfer, my co-commentator, Cubs Rule 21, our restreamer, doing a great job there. Alchemy, great job with tracking. Pankraz and microKorgs, great race as always. We are down to a maximum of 13 races left in this tournament. Can you believe it? But we still have some more races. We have 2 coming up tomorrow. As we mentioned, at 5 o'clock, we will have the rematch of Pankraz and microKorgs. And at 9 p.m., Dekar, Smash, and Solaris, the other semifinal. So I hope you'll be able to join us for that. We are going to raid the RPG Valkyries. They are doing Devil May Cry 4 as part of their speedrun Ragnarok. So they're trying to raise some money for Take This, which is a great charity, a great marathon. I will tell you, something I've said over the last couple of years, it is one of the premier online marathons. So I hope you'll take some time to watch that. I believe they're moving on. I think they're going to have a rhythm block right after that. So I hope you'll be able to join us. So on that note, it's time for us to walk away. So for our runners, Pankraz and microKorgs, for our restreamer, Cubs Rule 21, for our tracker Alchemy, for my co-commentator Klopfer, this is me, Game Boy F9. You've been watching the Free Enterprise channel. Please have a great night.